retro revivals have never appealed to me. Being born in '98, these games thrived off the nostalgia that I never had. There's nothing wrong with these kinds of games. They just never appealed to me. Shovel Knight, on the other hand, isn't really appealing to one specific game. It's a love letter to the entire NES era. One successful Kickstarter later, and Shovel Knight raised $300,000 to almost 15,000 backers. People obviously wanted a game like this. Shovel Knight's been on my to-finish list for a really long time. I bought it on Steam a few months after it came out, and I was really liking it. I got to the final level and I stopped playing because I don't really know why. With this recent Switch release and me being sold for Switch games, I thought, why not? I may not be a fan of retro games, but let's see how this one fares. Long ago, Shovel Knight and Shield Knight seemingly single-handedly kept the peace and went on all kinds of adventures together. Everything's all fine and dandy until one day they come across the Tower of Fate. They found some cursed amulet, which is, cursed. So naturally, someone decided they wanted to take it. Shovel Knight is knocked unconscious during this dilemma and wakes up to find that Shield Knight has vanished. This is made all the more depressing with his jarringly sad image of Shovel Knight holding Shield Knight's helmet and mourning. That took a turn real quick. Then Shovel Knight gets depressed for a little while, and, as evil typically does, the Enchantress in an Order of No Quarter sees the kingdom because our hero forgot that he's capable of single-handedly defeating them. Now it's up to Shovel Knight to defeat the 8 knights in the Order of No Quarter and the Enchantress, save the kingdom, and yada yada yada. We've all heard this before. Shovel Knight looks and sounds like an NES game, and I mean that in the best way possible. It may look the part, but it's not held back by the limitations in the NES. You think NES sprites with this many frames of animation? All the sprites and backgrounds look as detailed as they possibly could while still looking 8-bit. It even uses a few colors that can't even be rendered on the NES. They don't look out of place either. Shovel Knight's got a great soundtrack too. All the music perfectly captures the sound and the level you're playing through, and they all sound great. Shovel Knight plays like an NES game too, except for, the NES controller. Unless, of course, you're playing on Wii U and happen to have an NES Classic Edition, but that's beside the point. Bastards. Why don't you want my money, Nintendo? Shovel Knight can hit enemies with a shovel and even pull some Scrooge McDuck BS and bounce off of enemies. Wouldn't it be more like the shovel being violently impaled through the enemy? This isn't how physics work and they have to keep the U rating, but honestly, who cares how this makes sense? Each stage essentially plays out like a Mega Man stage where you go through a platforming obstacle course with a boss at the end. The stage variety is pretty good too. King's Knight stage is a big gold castle with no real gimmicks. Plague Knight stage is the giant alchemy lab, and Propeller Knight stage is a giant flying machine. At least the bottomless pits make sense for once. Treasure Knight stage is an underwater level and it doesn't feel like a horrible gimmicky level. Underwater physics just make everything floatier, and Treasure Knight stage is probably my favorite stage in the game. Do that Ocarina in time, they finally made a good underwater level. Spectre Knight stage is a bit seizure-inducing though. I'm not showing those parts, but there's multiple sections where lightning flashes for a second or so that lights up the room. Spectre Knight stage is pretty good otherwise, but it can be a bit straining on the eyes when you're playing at night. Bosses are fun to fight too, and there honestly wasn't a single one I didn't like fighting. I didn't even mind the boss rush at the end of the game either. Unlike Mega Man, the bosses don't have a weakness, so you can't just fudge your way through everything if you fight them in the right order. Hidden in each stage is a relic that you can use by hitting up an attack at the cost of magic. The default control scheme is dumb though, so I'd rather just have it mapped to another button, which you can turn on in the options, thank god. Relics are held in special chests that are really easy to spot once you found them. Oh, what's that? You thought they were free? Oh, that's where you're wrong, kiddo. On top of this, the guy inside the chest, Chester, makes you buy the item from him. In this economy, you can't just go around giving random knights with shovels free stuff, now can you? If you don't find it in the stage, you can instead buy it from Chester in town for a higher price. Capitalism. This sounds annoying, but with how much money you're constantly getting, it's not a big deal. Gold is found in the form of gems, and they're all over the damn place. There is all these expensive gems. You people are literally throwing money away. If you don't think that's enough money for you, you can destroy checkpoints to get bonus gold out of it. Destroying the checkpoint means that it no longer works though, so don't be a dumbass. Speaking of checkpoints, the difficulty in Shovel Knight is damn near perfect. Checkpoints are frequent enough where you don't feel like you lose a ton of progress when you die, but they're not so frequent that death feels inconsequential. Enemy placement doesn't feel too harsh, bosses don't feel needlessly challenging, and it has a really smooth difficulty curve. It's not to say the game's easy, but it's just the right amount of challenging. Not a cakewalk, but not too demanding either. When you die, you'll lose gold, but if you get the flying money bags from when you died, you can get all your gold back. This is really nice since it forces you to get better to be able to consistently get back to where you were before so you don't lose all your money. Money is damn important too. There's not only the aforementioned relics, but you can also buy health and magic upgrades in town. A little later in the game, you can go to Omu Outpost and not only buy upgrades for your shovel, but also buy different Omurs for Shovel Knight. It's not straight upgrades either since they have downsides. Like having more magic for relic use in exchange for having less defense, you're not taking recoil from enemy hits but having less traction. I personally use the final gold, which reduces the amount of gold you lose when you die. But once I have all the upgrades, I use the Ornate Plate. What's it do, you may ask? Absolutely nothing. It looks cool though. very rarely play through all the game's DLC, but Shovel Knight is an awesome exception. I will refer to Shovel Knight's campaign as Shovel of Hope now, not only to avoid confusion, but as the official name for the main game now. Also, saying Shovel Knight's campaign is a mouthful. First up is Plague of Shadows. Plague Knight is trying to make a potion of unlimited power, and he'll do anything to gather ingredients for it. So, what does he need? The souls of the living, and one dead guy. So Plague Knight goes through the same levels as Shovel Knight, fights the same bosses, and goes through the game in pretty much the same order. You're essentially playing the game a second time with a different character, but there's enough differences that makes Plague of Shadows interesting. Plague Knight uses bombs, and there are a lot of bombs. There's normal bombs, fire bombs, cluster bombs, bombs that home in on enemies. Oh my god, did Michael Bay direct this campaign? Holding and releasing the attack button lets you use a short jump, and on top of the 2 jumps Plague Knight already has, he has 3 jumps.
There's more. No.
You get items by going through a new optional section of the stage. You get the relic that Shovel Knight had in the stage. Then, you bring it to Cheshire, who gives you the item that you can actually use. Plague Knight's magic recharges this time around, so finding magic jewels isn't necessary. Plague Knight has his own separate items from Shovel Knight, and some of them give him even more jumps. Okay, let's do the math here. First, Plague Knight's first 3 jumps. Then you use the bat, which makes 2.5 magic balls, and makes this platform that resets your jumps. That is 6 jumps. But if you wait long enough for your magic to recharge, that's another 3 jumps, so Plague Knight can have up to 9 jumps. But if you count the bat as a jump, which I don't, but you can make the argument that it is a jump, then that's 12 jumps. You think that's enough jumps, Plague Knight? But there will be 4 campaigns in Shovel Knight. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Oh my god. Half-Life 3 confirmed. You even get to fight Shovel Knight at one point. My god, he is such an asshole. Not only is he a whole fight, but when you actually defeat him, he just comes back with a sliver of health left and kills you instead. Oh, and what's that? He's also teabagging you. This son of a bitch doesn't even have the decency to save everyone after the boss rush. Damn, dude, I thought you were supposed to be the hero. Plague of Shadows is a really fun alternative to Shovel of Hope. I still prefer Shovel of Hope, but there's enough different about it that it doesn't feel boring to play through the same game a second time. Last, but sure as hell not least, Spectre of Torment. While Plague of Shadows took place at the same time as Shovel of Hope, Spectre of Torment takes place before the main game. Spectre Knight is tasked by the Enchantress to recruit 8 knights for her Order of No Quarter. It's a pretty cool prequel that shows how everything came together before the main game. I like the higher emphasis on story in Spectre of Torment, and they never feel like they overloaded you with new information. It's still a simple story, but it is an effective one. When it comes to the actual gameplay this time around, Spectre Knight's main ability is being able to do a diagonal dash towards his enemies. He's also got a double jump, and he can even run up walls. It may seem simple, but these abilities feel really good to use. Instead of a world map, Spectre of Torment uses a stage select, and you can play the stages in completely any order you want. The other campaigns let you choose a few choices on what to do first, but you were ultimately doing everything in the same order. In Spectre of Torment, I expect to be playing through the same stages again, but to my surprise, these are all brand new stages. Sure, you're going through the same locations, but the levels themselves are completely different. The stages introduce new mechanics that are not present in the other campaigns and are surprisingly well fleshed out. Getting each stage is an upgrade for either your will, which is a fancy way of saying health, or darkness, which is used for items. Items are found in the village this time around in exchange for red skulls. Then you play a short section that teaches you how to use the item. Most of Spectre Knight's arsenal is combat-based, and I found myself not using them much, save for the one that restores your health. Even the bosses are still different enough to feel fresh, like Propeller Knight, which has you fighting him while you're jumping on top of flying planes instead of the stationary platforming. Spectre of Torment is a perfect mix between new and familiar, and this may as well be its own game. It's that good. This is how you do DLC. This is the best DLC campaign I've ever played, and quite frankly, I think it's better than Shovel of Hope. The folks at Yacht Club Games are some talented developers. I mean, how often is it that you play DLC that's better than the main game, when the main game was already awesome to begin with? Not only that, but there's still more DLC coming. There'll not only be a full-player battle mode, but King Knight is getting his own campaign. There's no current release date for either of them, but I'm really looking forward to King Knight's campaign. Did I mention all of this DLC is free? Man, I love free stuff. Once you're done with all that, there's still more stuff to do. For one, there's a co-op mode for Shovel of Hope. I don't have any footage of it, but I have played it with friends and it's pretty fun. There's no online mode, but you'll be in for a good time if you meet in person. Speaking of which, playing this game with a sideways Joy-Con is surprisingly comfortable. There's also a new game plus for some reason. It's harder to compensate for having all your upgrades, but this isn't exactly the kind of game that needed it. You can ignore what is there if you want a greater challenge. Also, there's only 2 checkpoints per level, which is a bit harsh versus hard mode, so whatever. Huh? Wait, what? Yep, there was a Shovel Knight amiibo, which means that the Wii U and Switch versions have amiibo support. The main function of it is Custom Night. Instead of playing through the main game and getting unlocks through fighting everything, Gold takes the form of experience and you get new items whenever you level up. It's actually a pretty fun alternative to the normal playstyle, but it's not really worth the 13 bucks. At least I got a cool figure out of it. There's the Amiibo Fairy too, and honestly, this thing is completely useless. It's supposed to pick up golden items for you, but it can't even seem to do that. At least it's cute. There's some platform exclusive content too. PlayStation players get an optional boss fight against Kratos from God of War. Yeah, that game about violently killing all the Greek gods out of revenge. It makes complete sense to put him into an E-rated game. Xbox players get an optional Battletoads stage and a boss fight against the Battletoads. I have to admit this is pretty damn kick-ass and it fits the NES style really well. Nintendo players get the Amiibo support, but not much else. And finally, what do PC players get? Why, absolutely nothing, of course. Come on, Yacht Club. At least try to get us a fight with a heavy or something. And finally, if the Tumblr-obsessed feminazi within you is offended by the overabundance of male characters in Shovel Knight, Body Swap has got you covered. You, yes you, can change the genders of every major character in the game. You do some surprisingly good Rule 63s too. I'm actually really surprised about how much effort they put into these. Maybe there's a fire trail behind my custom female Shovel Knight because she's hot. I will probably live to regret that pun. All 3 campaigns will get you about 15 hours of content. For 25 bucks, that's 15 hours of really fun and solid content with even more coming. No matter which version of the game you play, you really can't go wrong with this game. They've all got the same content with a few extras here and there. Shovel Knight is available on every current and last-gen system, so you have no excuse not to play this game. Shovel Knight can easily run on any computer made in the last decade, too. Also, there's an Amazon Fire TV version for some reason. Support is ending on the last-gen version, so I wouldn't recommend those versions as much, but they're fine if you have no other way of playing them. The game may be $10 more than when it was at launch, but coming from a guy who bought the game for the old price on PC, and the new price on Switch, that extra $10 is still worth it. Even if you paid the original price, you'll still get the new content for free, which is pretty damn awesome. Shovel Knight has been a wonderful experience. Amazing main game, amazing DLC, great graphics and soundtrack, it's all around awesome. You're really doing yourself a disservice if you haven't played Shovel Knight yet. It's a platforming retro paradise that'll appeal to old and new players alike. It's all that was good about the NES era, but with a much more fair difficulty. I bought this game on both PC and Switch, bought the Amiibo, bought the soundtrack, and I still want to support Yacht Club and make such an amazing game. Shovel Knight is truly one of the indie greats. This has been that Flame Assassin guy, and tune in next time for Yooka-Laylee. See you next mission.